context. And I love the very serious discussions that we would have on set about these. You'd have like a guy dressed up in like a giant pink outfit, with the horribly very revealing area. And this guy just standing there being the monster, and we're all standing around going, well, how tall is the monster? And I'm just going like, look, you can see his bits. It's like, it's just such a ridiculous thing to be doing for a living. There are sometimes you sort of go like, yep, I'm a grown-up. What did you do today, Daddy? Well, I ran screaming through the forest. But yeah, so Star-Crossed is the goal with the writing and directing right now. I really enjoy that side of stuff. I think possibly because I just get to tell people what to do. So that's the plan on that. And then Dog's Breakfast, I'd love to do a sequel to Dog's Breakfast. We have a couple of ideas for it, but it's just, it's easier. The Star-Crossed stuff seems more likely to happen sooner thanks to Sci-Fi's interest. So Sci-Fi told me to shut up about it. So I think that's usually a good sign. If they don't care you're talking about it, then they don't care. But if they say, look, don't say anything right now, that's usually a good sign. So, which is why, of course, I'm talking about it right now. So, yes, Bob. Oh, look at that, Keener.
Hi, I was just wondering how you felt about your on-screen relationship with Jewel Strafe.
With Jewel State?
Yes.
Yes. Any relationship with Jewel State's fine with me, basically. Jewel and Matt and Jane and I are now like, we seem to be, we have like date night. We've now like named it Jewel and Matt night because that's all we end up doing is going and seeing, they're the only exciting people we know. So, yeah, she just cracks me up. I was a huge fan of Firefly, and then she showed up on another show that canceled far too soon. I was a huge fan of her on that show. I mean, how could you not, basically? And and then when we saw that there was this love triangle between, Jason's character and my character and Jewel, I was always like, well, I wonder how this is going to end. It ain't going to be me. And then when it was me, I was like, why is it me? But she's just one of the funniest. She's ridiculously funny. And I think to some extent kind of underused in Atlantis. I felt she never really got to shine quite as much as she can because she's just a ridiculously funny person, And her husband, Matt, is like, I cast him in this evil snow monkey thing. And he's like a young, funny Clint Eastwood. I mean, he's amazing. So yeah, they're like this ridiculously, annoyingly attractive and intelligent and funny couple. Actually, I hate them. They make me feel old. That always makes me feel better. So, Yes. What do you think, Bob? I think it's hot. He's just going to take his time. We got an hour, right? So,
I'm going to be a pain and ask 2 questions, but the last one will be quick.
Oh, the 2-question people. Sure.
The relationship that you had with Rodney's sister and...
Yes, my sister.
Agreed.
Agreed, thank you.
Okay,
so
bad wording, sorry.
I'm allowed to be her brother. Fantastic, thank you. Thank you for your blessing. Welcome.
How was that? What relationship do you have with your sister? Was that just normal, everyday thing for you?
Yeah, that was so funny to us was because we had, like, Martin Wood came up to me, us at one point, and said, okay, guys, look, doing the scene, just remember, you're related. We're like, Martin, we're related. He goes, yeah, but, you should be, like, nicer to each other. Like, no, I don't think so. Kate and I have the most abusive relationship. Like, it was, one of her favorite moments was going to see an opening of a play that I was in, and I'm standing around, I've got, like, these reviewers from, some people from the press and a couple of agents and stuff, and we're standing around talking, and my little sister comes up and just goes, whack! It just hits me smack in the forehead, like, just like giant red welt on my face. And I'm like, hi, it's Kate, my little sister. And then she's like, then discovered that she just like made a complete idiot of herself, and I've got a giant red mark on my face. That was our relation. It was just the way we were. I made her life misery, and she attempted to make my life misery. And it's hard for her because she's constantly living in the shadow of a great person.
My other question is, were you surprised by the popularity of your character in Stargate?
No. Oh, yes, very. I was so surprised. Yes, I was. I mean, it was when we first started out. Like I got the part, and I went on to like Gate World, and I was looking on the bulletin boards, and now I sound like 1,000 years old. The bulletin boards, and someone had said, "What? 10 years of a great show and great characters, and they decide to bring McKay back?" And I couldn't help sort of agreeing with them, but I'm like, well, let's give him a chance. He seems like a nice guy. I completely understood, like, why of all the people you could bring back, you bring back, like, the most obnoxious, but it was actually, I think it was kind of smart, because, first off, I know so many people like that, and so there are so many, like, sci-fi and like geek friends of mine who are exactly McKay. I mean, whether they know it or not, they sort of appreciate that character because it sort of goes hand in hand with the whole, geek thing. I mean, we just know more than everybody, so, like, why wouldn't we flaunt that? So, yeah, I was very surprised. I was very surprised to get the part, and then I was thrilled because it becomes very apparent very quickly. He's just like the most fun character to play, like I'm so glad I wasn't Jason. Jason said to me, Jason goes, dude, how hard it is for you to say all those lines, but you know how freaking hard it is for us to listen to them? My favorite thing with Jason was, if you ever want to like just throw Jason off in a scene, just look at him. Because he'll assume that he's fallen asleep, missed his cue line, and he just launches into his next line, no matter what's happening. No matter what anybody's doing in the scene, you just go like, and he's like, yeah, we should leave now. Or whatever his line, sometimes it's the right line, yeah. Doesn't work on Joe. Joe just stares back. Yes, more questions? Yeah. Yes.
Hi.
Oh, he was up. He jumped up pretty good. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Forget it.
A lot of actors take guest roles in other TV series. Is there any...
It's called a living.
Yeah, but is there any particular show that you would like to do a guest star role in?
I've been watching Downton Abbey. Have you seen this? It's amazing. It's not sci-fi at all. In fact, I watched it under duress because my wife was like, you have to watch this. And I was like, great. A period piece, early 1900s about like masters and servants. I mean, that'll be exciting. And I started watching it. I was completely glued. It's like the most watched show in English history or something. But it's incredible. Like, you have to see this. It's insanely brilliant. And it looks gorgeous and it's beautifully acted. And I would love to do that kind of stuff. I always really wanted to work in England. The problem is I've like trained myself to be like as obnoxiously American as possible. So I just stand like a sore thumb. Guest star stuff. I mean, guest stars are so weird because first off, they don't feed my ego the way I like. Because you're like the new kid on the block. You sort of come in and you're like, hi, I'm so happy to be here, and not be the lead. But you sort of come in and you're just getting to know people as you finish your episode. But I did the closer, which was really fun. Like they were just like they kept bringing food. I love them for that. They like taco trucks would pull up. You'd be like, that's for guest stars too? So I was always like the first guy. No one knew who I was. I was the first guy in the lineup for all of the different food trucks that showed up. They're like, who's this? Who's the FBI guy? So. But it's always kind of fun to go into those things because a lot of those guys, they don't watch Stargate. They don't know, so they're always like pleasantly surprised, like, wow, you can act. I was like, well, I've done some, a little acting in my time, and boy, can I eat. So yeah, guest star stuff, I know specific things. Yeah, sorry, Bob. You were going for a question, weren't you? Yeah. Nothing specific really. I mean, I did call these guys who do Dino Dan, because my son is like all over the show, and I just thought like, how cool would it be to go, yeah, kid, check it out. That's me with the Brontosaurus, So that's the one push that I made, and they were very sweet. They sent me a poster. It's like, I don't want a poster, I want a job. But that kind of stuff now, like being a dad, is kind of fun that way, to think of like shows that they'll get a kick out of me being in. So. Where's he going? No one knows. There was a guy down here waving his arm frantically. Yeah, you go. He was airborne earlier.
Hey there, I'm your biggest fan,
Actually, you're one of the smallest, but yes.
Anyway, did you ever get scared by the Wraith? Because I did. I sure did.
They're some pretty creepy looking guys, I'd have to say. Yeah. Especially when it's Chris, because Chris is just a creepy guy anyways, even without all that makeup, you know. I was never that creeped out. I think what did I get creeped out of? I got more creeped out about having to do like claustrophobic stuff or running in nature where there might be bugs. It's more of my fear than I was probably more scared of like insects than I was, the Wraith. So basically any outdoor sequences were very difficult for me. Allergies and stuff. But yeah, Wraith, yeah. They're big rubbery guys. I'm fine with them. Yeah. Plus I probably don't taste very good. Because I'm covered in bug spray most of the time. Where's he going? Where's he going? No one knows. No one knows. He's going. Like, I don't want it.
Hey, do you ever wish that you were on SG-1 as a regular instead of Stargate Atlantis? Perhaps being swapped out with Amanda Tapping, and you could wear like a blonde wig or something?
Wow, you have a rich fantasy life. I'd look good in the wig, but look, I love doing SG-1. Like, I would love to have done more SG-1s. I love that thing. Like, I never really got to work with Teal'c. Teal'c was always stuck in a gate or something every time I was there. I started a rumor that I was actually Chris Judge because we were never seen together on film. Because we look so much alike. Certainly from a raw animal magnetism kind of way. I wouldn't trade Atlantis for anything. I wouldn't. I mean, I prefer the SG-1 gate. Ours always reminded me like of a disco. To me, it was always like, whereas like SG-1 was like this great chunky gate. I would say that was the only envy I had there. It would be kind of cool to do more stuff with MacGyver maybe, but No, I'll stick with Atlantis. I liked our cool disco 80s set. There's a happy question coming. Look at this. This is a very happy question. Hi.
Hi. In A Dog's Breakfast, was your character in any way derived from McKay? The way he's so paranoid?
Yeah, he was sort of taken to a comedy. He was taken sort of like, it was McKay taken to the comedy extreme, I felt. He's kind of the way I saw myself going if I hadn't become an actor. Like I would just be at home a lot by myself and become kind of a mean little, I think the thing about acting is it actually gets me out of the house a bit more, which is probably a good thing. I felt like it was like me in 20 years if I just decided to stay at home and like beat handbags for a living or something, which there was a serious discussion about. When they canceled Stargate Atlantis, I was threatening everyone that I was going to go and just, start doing arts and crafts shows. And that was all I would do from now on in. So, me and Lance with the pottery. He's got the mic. But you got a great wave going. That's good. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, David. So there's an opening in 2.5 Men, $2 million an episode. Would you be interested? Very funny, man. I think you can pull it off.
You want to hear funny? I auditioned for that show. I did at the beginning when they were first casting it. I went in for Sheen's brother, but he's just genius. Like he's with Dickie, right? I mean, he was amazing in it. Sheen's. I think there's more chance of me playing Sheen in the biopic. That is amazing to watch. It's